TVS is the company that's provided the independent television service for the south and southeast of England since the 1st of January 1982. What you're about to see is just a sample of our output. We produce for our region many programs that quite specifically have the south in view. For example, we talk to the owners of a number of the stately homes in our area. Here, the Englishman's home is Broadlands in Hampshire, and the owner, Lord Mountbatten's grandson, Lord Rumsey.
Oh, this is in sharp contrast.
This is a classic original colour that was done. It's called the Wedgwood room.
It's remarkable how fine the early Wedgwood is.
Oh, it's beautiful. The colours are all slightly different. The later Wedgwood, as you can see, gets a slightly lighter colour. It may well be that it ages and gets dark with age. During the war, this was one of the main hospital wards. And we get people coming and telling us how they spent time here gazing at the ceiling. There was 3-ply wood all the way around, including, believe it or not, the bookshelves, with the books still in situ, which was odd. But what we have had to do here is to redecorate the room. We did it in 1979. And one of the things we did was to take some of the material from the curtains, cutting the curtains down, in order to beef up the remaining silk damask that you see on the sofas and in the chairs, because that material is totally irreplaceable. There is no way that we could get it woven again, and therefore we had no option.
Do you use this room now?
Yes, where we're standing is actually, there's normally a round table, and we have tea here during the closed season, obviously.
And has that always been so? Did you?
Oh yes,
as
a child, I remember many tea parties here. I remember particularly that both my brother and I were very messy eaters, and my grandmother was extremely indulgent and allowed us to throw jam and goodness knows what else over all the covers, much, of course, to the quiet horror of my mother. There's a lovely painting there. It's one of Lord Mountbatten's favourites. She's Frances Teresa, nicknamed La Belle Stuart, and she actually is the face that Charles II chose to go on his coins. Therefore, the prototype Britannia.
Oh, and that's the picture. How lovely. And just beside it is the medallion of your grandfather.
Yes, that was done a year before he was killed by Wedgwood. It's a great honour to be chosen. There's quite an amusing little story, because normally they do 2 of those, one for their own records and one as a presentation to the Queen. And Lord Mountbatten, in fact, was given a look it was intended at his copy, and by chance the Queen was here, and the idea was that the chairman of Wedgwood was going to give the large one to the Queen. She was going to take it away with her. Somehow, and I don't know how, it stayed here, and another one had to be made at the factory and sent up to Buckingham Palace. Another example of Lord Mountbatten getting his way.
The creative and performing arts are one of the particular strengths of our region, and we reflect this in Putting on the South.
For the past 800 years, someone has been chipping away somewhere at one corner or another of the cathedral, building or rebuilding, adding or repairing, which accounts for the patchwork texture of the stone. As roads improved, so English quarries were tried, each producing masonry that weathered individually and to quite different colours. One might have thought that after 800 years the building work would have finished, but not a bit of it. The trouble is, before stonemasons have time to stand back and admire their handiwork, decay will have set in somewhere else, as Brian Lamar, Cathedral Clerk of Works, well knows.
Stone lasts for maybe 300 or 400 years, so there wasn't much restoration necessary until the 19th century. And then it was a matter of doing the essential parts.
Sadly, a lack of symmetry here offended the Victorian eye, and the Norman Tower on the left was replaced by a copy of the Dunstan Tower, but things went badly wrong. What appears to be medieval stone patched up by the Victorians is in fact disastrously soft Victorian stone repaired by overbold Edwardians. They were besotted by the Egyptian style and handcrafted these monstrosities, which promptly turned black and are now disintegrating themselves.
Most of the work we're doing now is replacing their stuff, because they didn't take the whole stones out as we do now. They just took about 2 or 3 inches off the surface and recladded it. And that's causing out most of our problems now.
The cathedrals of England at that time, particularly Canterbury, were in very bad shape financially, because a lot of their economy was tied up with agriculture, and there was a great deal of trouble. There were bad harvests and a great deal of poverty in the agricultural world at that time, farmers going broke. And so the chapter rents and all that kind of thing coming in were very small, and they simply had to cut a lot of work and do it and skimp it, in fact, in a way which we wouldn't dream of doing today. Our motto now is, nothing but the best is due for Canterbury Cathedral.
As autumn closes in, reducing work on the cathedral to clement days and shorter hours, huge loads of French stone arrive by juggernauts from the Channel ports. Brian Lamar has at last found a satisfactory supply of stone from the original seam, which re-emerges at Le Pin, 200 miles south of the worked-out Caen quarry. During the winter months, the stonemasons are switched to these workshops at Hackington, where they carefully work massive stone blocks into the delicate shapes that are, barring disasters, to make up the walls, gargoyles, buttresses, and windows of the cathedral for the next 400 years.
Just some of the programmes produced in the south and southeast of England by TVS.